Hi, I'm Jordan.
I'm Carly.
I'm Hadley.
And I'm Madison, and this is our KLM. It's an airline presentation.
So a little background about KLM. KLM, their full name is KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, and it was founded in 1919. It is based in the Amsterdam area in the Netherlands. In 2016, KLM generated about 10 billion euros in revenue. They employed 32,000 staff, and they had 225 destinations around the world. In 2004, KLM merged with Air France, and they have three main business practices, and those are passenger travel, cargo travel, and engineering and maintenance. Their mission statement reads, KLM strives to achieve profitable growth that contributes to both its own corporate aims and to economic and social development. KLM works to create sustainable growth at Amsterdam Airport to gain access to any market that will increase the quality of its network and to maintain a level playing field for all industry players. The SWOT analysis. So the strengths for KLM include having a large global network, their Sky Team and Flying Blue. So Sky Team is their alliance of different airlines around the world. So some of those include Delta, Vietnam Airlines, Air France, and many more. And Flying Blue is their frequent flyer club, so those members have a lot of benefits with the airline. And then lastly, 7%, they have had a 7% increase in traffic between the US and Europe since 2014, which will be important when we start to look at the campaign part. Their weaknesses are that they have a bit of a brand identity issue because Air France and KLM merged in 2004, but the brands still look different rather than coming up with one combined brand. And then relating to the campaign, people in the United States have never heard of KLM and they're unfamiliar with the brand, even though KLM flies into 50 cities in North America. Some opportunities, so they could start flying into new airports. They can increase the number of aircrafts that they have to help increase the number of flights that they offer. And they could purchase other airlines, kind of similar to purchasing Air France and merging those two airlines. And the threats, so competition to purchase those smaller airlines among other large airlines, other airlines that offer cheaper flights or more convenient flights for flyers. And lastly, other airlines might offer better service and have higher quality flights. And some of their top competitors include Air India, Singapore Airlines, Malaysia Airlines, and many others.
So the United States political system is the federal democracy with the two major political parties being the Democrats and the Republicans. Citizens have competing interests that differ based on their different backgrounds. This is based on the types of jobs they have, their race or age, whether they have children, etc. And politics in the U.S. are also shaped by special interest groups, lobbyists, and the media. For the U.S.'s economic development, it is the second largest export economy in the world, with the GDP in 2016 being $18.57 trillion with a growth of 1.6%. The unemployment rate in August 2016 was 4.9%, and then by September 2016 it raised to 5%. The U.S. has exported 1.42 trillion and imported 2.1 trillion, resulting in a negative trade balance of 783 billion. The top exports being refined petroleum, cars and vehicle parts, and integrated circuits. The United States media system. There are several types of media, including television, radio, print, and internet-based. Social media is a large internet-based, being Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Pinterest. 57% of U.S. adults often get their news on cable, local TV networks, or network nightly, and 38% through online websites, apps, and social media. The internet media is quickly taking over the U.S. media system, and is the top form of communication to a mass audience, specifically social media conversations. Development of mobile technology has also played a large role in the U.S.'s media system as well. And the literacy rate is 99%. These are people age 15 and above who can, with understanding, read and write a short, simple statement of their everyday lives, and also encompasses numeracy, which is their ability to make simple arithmetic calculations. The literacy rate for the U.S. has remained stable within the past 10 years. The U.S. CPI is 7 on a 0 to 100 scale. This means that there are higher degrees of freedom, access to information about public expenditure, stronger standards of integrity for public officials, and an independent judicial system, and it's also ranked 18 out of 176. The media penetration for the United States is the majority of households in the U.S. have their TVs in their homes.
So we broke this down into different areas when we looked at this chart because the majority of homes have TVs. We broke it down by what kind of service they get. So 51,000 homes have wired cable, 35,000 have satellite, 15,000 have broadcast only, and then it goes down from there. So according to this chart, 15 million households have broadcast only TV in their houses. And this is important for this project because in this campaign, they had a segment aired on TV, and this segment was on Richard Quest's CNN International show called Quest Means Business. And in this TV segment that they had, they showed a clip of the commercial that we'll show shortly and interviewed the general manager of our brand. For the internet penetration, KLM used the internet as the primary channel for this campaign. In the United States in 2016, 76.18% of the U.S. population had access to the internet. And in this chart, you can see the gradual increase in internet penetration since 2000. And then later on, we'll talk about how the internet played a role in this campaign and how many views the videos got.
So there are 6 different cultural dimensions for Hofstede's cultural dimensions, and they are power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. The USA scored a 40 on power distance, which is fairly low. This deals with the fact that everybody is unique, implies that we are all unequal. The USA is, however, one of the most individualistic cultures in the world. This has to do with whether a country's image is defined in terms of I or we, and they are based off the premise of liberty and justice for all. Masculinity, this in combination with the high score of individualism, shows that Americans exhibit their masculinity individually. And uncertainty avoidance, Americans allow for freedom of expression, acceptance of new ideas, and show willingness to try new things. The U.S. scored normative on long-term orientation, which doesn't make most Americans pragmatic. They have a strong idea of what is considered good and evil. And for indulgence, the U.S. has a work hard, play hard attitude towards indulgence.
So this campaign, KLM's main purpose was to utilize humor to connect with the American audience to increase awareness of KLM. They found that there was a very low awareness of what KLM was in America, so they just wanted people to know what it was and how to use its services. And here is one of the videos.
So I met someone. I was on a business trip. I had a seat. She actually stood up a lot of the flight. She wanted to know my name. Even asked if I wanted to grab a drink. And before we took off, we played this little game of charades. The answer was seatbelt. Sort of an icebreaker, I guess. And the whole flight, she just wanted to get to know me, you know? Where am I from? Where am I going? What kind of wine do I like? Would I need any help locating the gate of my connecting flight at the international terminal? Romantic stuff. I told her I have a lot of baggage that I'm dealing with. Didn't seem to faze her one bit. Not one bit at all. I don't know, it seemed like a real touchdown. And then we went our separate ways. But if I ever do run into her again, I'm definitely going to ask what she does professionally. Hey, when did you get here? Was he here the whole time? How you doing, fella? You hungry?
So for the primary publics, Christophe Attard, Air France KLM's Vice President of Marketing and Communications North America, said that in terms of demographics, we wanted to target people who travel to Europe, who have a passport, and have intention to travel to Europe or Asia for business or to visit friends or family. Secondary publics are just people who travel often and or are interested in traveling to Europe in general. For the output and impact objectives, the output objective is to use humor to introduce KLM across digital channels, which would help create an emotional connection to the brand and drive awareness of KLM as an airline option in the U.S. For the impact objective, Christophe Attard, like I previously mentioned, he mentioned that for us, KLM, social media is not only a place to promote a brand, but they want to answer every question within 60 minutes, and they want to solve every issue within one day. They say that KLM strives to use social media as a way to spread the news and connect with customers.
So this campaign ran from August through September of 2016, and the series of videos that were used in this campaign were all posted on August 28th of 2016. So, like I previously said, the campaign theme and the key messages were to use humor to teach Americans that KLM is not a radio station or a milk brand, that they are indeed a airline and they want to help people get all over the world. So they just wanted to drive awareness of what KLM does. So KLM partnered with the Mustache ad agency to develop this humorous campaign called KLM It's an Airline. So they approached the New York Times to offer the outlet an exclusive, and that's what led to the feature piece that was posted all over the New York Times, which led to a lot of people actually watching the ads on YouTube and Facebook. They also hosted a pop-up event in San Francisco in fall of 2016. So the channels that they used were mostly Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. KLM is actually the first airline to partner with Facebook Messenger in order to actually include bookings through Facebook Messenger. So that's why they really focused on Facebook mostly. So they have a quote that says, "For us, social media is not only a place to promote a brand. We want to answer every question within 60 minutes, and we want to solve every issue within a day. So we use social as a way to speak the news and connect with customers." So this campaign was implemented through the use of social media. As I said before, they mainly focused on Facebook and YouTube, but they launched a paid component to their campaign, which is the main part of the campaign, which featured the actor Ken Marino, who's been known from his role in the movie Role Models and the show Wet Hot American Summer.
For the evaluation of the objectives, the campaign did generate coverage in the New York Times, Teen News, Travel and Leisure, Travel Pulse, and PAX News. It's an Airline itself accumulated over 120 million media impressions, and the campaign video featuring Marino had over 650,000 Facebook views and more than 200,000 YouTube views.
So KLM is an airline that's based in Amsterdam, but it has over 50 destinations in North America, which is why so many people in America should know what KLM is, even if they don't. So KLM utilized the social media to spread the awareness of their brand in the United States. The It's an Airline campaign generated over 120 million media impressions. On YouTube, there were more than 200,000 views and more than 650,000 views on Facebook.
The key takeaways of this campaign were keeping things humorous and lighthearted helps positively impact the publics. The campaign generated coverage in many traditional and social media outlets, and the video is important when creating an awareness campaign because it engages the viewers more than a photo or plain text.
So we had a few specific recommendations for this campaign. The first thing was that there should have been a survey done after the campaign to gauge the awareness increase of KLM to the travelers that are in the United States. So we weren't given specific numbers of how many people in the United States were aware of what KLM is before and after the campaign, and that would have been really helpful. Next, we want to increase the views on the videos through a paid social media placement, so this would just increase the number of people that saw the videos. Next, we would continue the campaign with more popular actors, actresses, and comedians in order to appeal to a larger and broader audience. And lastly, we would have made the videos a bit shorter. The shortest one was like 1.5 minutes, and the longest one was like 2.5 minutes. So we wanted to be a little bit shorter so that we could keep people's attention with a brief video.
And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for watching.